Every December, the internet declares the worst 12 months, usually citing a disappointing movie premiere or an embarrassing celebrity scandal. But when a team of Harvard historians and climate scientists set out to empirically determine the darkest period in human history, they landed on a very specific date. The researchers pinpointed the year 536, based on the data of a synchronized global collapse. That year, the sun simply dimmed. For 18 continuous months, a thick, hazy veil choked the atmosphere, leaving the sun to emit a feeble shadow that provided no warmth and plunged the earth into a perpetual, eerie twilight. Byzantine historian Procopius documented a sun that gave forth light without brightness while traveling through Sicily. In the same era, the scribe Michael the Syrian recorded that the sun shone for only 4 hours a day, and even then, it remained a feeble shadow. Losing direct sunlight for a year and a half triggers a biological countdown. Without solar radiation, the Earth's delicate ecological machinery grinds to a halt. The blackout began with cataclysmic volcanic eruptions, with the primary blast originating in Iceland and subsequent eruptions occurring across the Americas. These eruptions ejected millions of tons of sulfur and ash. High-altitude winds whipped this plume across the northern hemisphere, creating an opaque shell. This blocked solar radiation, initiating the late antique Little Ice Age. Global temperatures plummeted between 1.6 and 2.5 degrees Celsius. A temperature drop of this scale causes systemic failure. When the Earth is disconnected from its primary energy source, the entire food web collapses. Without sunlight to drive photosynthesis, crops failed simultaneously across multiple continents. Ireland suffered a total food depletion, known as the bread failure. In China, midsummer frosts and August snows annihilated crops. A yellow, ash-like dust rained from the sky, and the resulting famine claimed the lives of up to 80% of the population. In Peru, the Moche civilization saw fishing stocks decimated and irrigation networks destroyed by a rogue El Niño triggered by the atmospheric shock. These geographic snapshots reveal a synchronized, inescapable global starvation event. Months of starvation and severe vitamin D deficiency shattered the immune systems of the surviving global population. The bubonic plague arrived into this vulnerable environment, striking Constantinople and causing the afflicted to suffer from bursting sores and massive swelling. The disease spread via infected rats hitching rides on military supply trains, turning Emperor Justinian's imperial ambitions into a delivery system for the plague. This pandemic, the Justinian plague, killed an estimated 50 million people and permanently derailed the attempted revival of the Roman Empire. The volcanic eruptions ultimately engineered the exact ecological and biological conditions required for the plague to claim 50 million lives, by first starving the population and stripping away their cellular defenses. Proving that a 6th century dark sun was a scientific reality required modern interdisciplinary forensics. Scientists used dendrochronology to analyze tree rings from the period. This cross-section shows a series of tight, clustered rings, indicating a decade of severely stunted growth caused by the sudden cooling. In 2018, glaciologists drilling into Swiss glaciers found the final piece of evidence: microscopic volcanic ash perfectly dated to 536, suspended within the ice. This physical data confirms that the historical accounts of a darkened sun were a precise record of a global geological catastrophe. Those same ice cores reveal exactly when the recovery began. Approximately a century after the initial blackout, researchers detected a sudden spike in lead deposits. In the 7th century, lead in the atmosphere was a byproduct of smelting silver on a massive scale. This surge in silver production allowed for the minting of new coins, signaling the restart of trade and the revival of a global economy. The events following 536 illustrate the fragility of the climate, agricultural, and biological systems that sustain human life. Yet, the eventual return of silver smelting proves that even after the most catastrophic system failures, the drive to rebuild eventually clears the skies.
Like, share, and subscribe our channel.